Hello all, welcome to my channel Codify with Sonal. Today I will be covering what is static keyword in Java. If you want to check out the previous topics we have done in Java, you can check out the playlist Java. I will put it here in the I button above. So let's start. So what is static keyword in Java? Static keyword in Java is used mainly for memory management, and it means that the particular member belongs to the class itself and it will be like a shared member of the class. I'll show you this in a diagrammatic way also. It can be applied to a variable, method, and a block. Next, coming to static variables. Now, static variables as in only a single copy of the variable is created and shared among all instances of the class, no matter how many times you initialize the class. It is stored in the heap memory and declared at the class level. So now as you can see, if I have a class as employee, this is my heap memory. Employee 1 is pointing to ID 1 Priya. Employee 2 is pointing to ID 2 named Sonal. So now this is my static variable. They both work in the company called ABC. Why static variable you need? Because you cannot have, okay, why to have two variables when both of the employees will have this as common. So whatever you want to keep common between the all the variables is you can keep it as static programmatically. Next, coming to static method. To perform an operation that is not dependent upon instance creation. Means what? That as we saw, this static keyword belongs to the class itself, not only to the instance. So it should definitely not depend upon instance creation. Then it is mostly used as utility or helper class. Static method can access static variable and also change the value of it, but it cannot use non-static variable or non-static variable directly. Okay, this we have also seen in the previous tutorials. Inside static method, if you want to call another static method, that is fine. But if you're calling a non-static method inside a static method, it won't work. We saw last time in main method, we were trying to call a show method, which was a non-static method. So you have to make it static, or else the other way is create a object of the class and then use it. You cannot use it directly. Then if you have any doubts regarding this, we'll do a practical. That time you'll understand it better. This and super keyword cannot be used. You cannot use these keywords, okay? Now coming to static block. To initialize the static variable, you can have a static block executed before the main method at the time of class loading. So when your class loads, that time before execution, if you want some variable, some static variable to be having a value, that time you can initialize it in the static block, because static block gets initialized far before the main method. If static variables require additional multi-statement logic during initialization, we can use. That's what I said right now, right? So let's go ahead and see all this practically. So here we come to our IDE and we have a class called employee, and we'll create the same example what I showed you in the diagram. Int ID string name string company. Now let us see why we need static variable. Suppose I have 500 employees in my company called ABC. Okay, so everyone, every employee will get one memory space, right? Every ID, every name. So what will happen is every employee object will get a memory space containing these two variables. So I can do that. Why? Because I know these are unique. But all the employees will be sharing a variable called company, which is same for them. So why to give space again and again? So what static keyword helps us to do is, it helps us to have your program as makes your program. What static keyword does to us, it helps us make our program more memory efficient. Okay, so now we have this. Basically static property is shared to all the objects. Okay, now let's create a constructor. What is a constructor and how you do it, that you have seen in the previous class. You can check out the previous tutorial of what is a constructor, how types and all. So here I am having a parameterized constructor containing ID and string name. Why I am not having this static variable? Because it has already been initialized. I will not initialize it again. Okay. So now this dot id equal to id, this dot name equal to name. Okay, here's my constructor. Now I want a method here, display, which will sys out all the details. Okay, so I say id is plus id. Similarly, I'll have this name is company is. Okay, and I'll change the variables here also, name, and I give it as company. Okay, now let's have one more class called test employee. Test static employee. I'm just keeping for the namesake. Okay, now in this class I will have a main method. Okay, now I will create variable object. Now I'll create an object of employee class, employee1 equal to new employee. Now here 1, we have it as Priya, and similarly we'll have one more employee, 2 zonal, and emp2. Okay, now we'll call emp1 dot display and emp2 dot display. Okay, now let's run this and see. Run as Java application. See, id name 1, id is 1, Priya, company is ABC, company is ABC. Now if suppose I like this, if you ask me that we have declared it once, can we change it? Yes, you can. How you can do it? By the name of the class dot, see, company equal to x y z. Okay, now let's run this and see again. The company name is xyz. Okay, so this is how static variables work. Now let's see an example of static method. So as we discussed, static method is generally used to access the static data member, and you can change the value of it. So now let me suppose here itself I can have that as static void change company. Okay, now here I can say it as company equal to xyz. Okay, now we go here in our this class, test static employee class. We have 2 employee objects, and now here before anything we will call it employee. We'll call the static method that we created dot change company. Okay, so if you don't have this, what will happen? It will print ABC. Okay, now if I want my static method to get executed, I call this over here, and the company name is xyz. Okay, so I guess static method should also be clear. If not, please let me know in the comment section. Okay, now coming to static block, I have one class in which I have a main method. So I just write here hello, this is main method. Okay, and I have here a static block. Okay, static, like this you declare a static block, just the keyword static and the open curly braces. So here if I have a sysout and I say here, I say here static block is invoked. Now you'll say main will execute. No, the static block says I will execute during class loading. So before main, static block will execute. Let us see this. So see, static block got executed before main. Static block is invoked and then hello, this is the main method. Okay. So if interviewer asks you that can you execute the program without the main method, the answer is no, you cannot. Earlier, this was possible using only static block, but now if you do it, it will give you an error saying main method not found in the class. Hopefully today's session was useful to you. If you have any doubts regarding static keyword, please let me know in the comment section. Also, I'm doing a tutorial on AWS, Cloud Practitioner and given strategies for AWS certifications regarding foundational and solution architect. Please check it out. If you have any doubts or if you want a one-to-one session on Java, please let me know. Till then, stay happy. Let's codify with Sonal in the next session. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so that whenever I put a new video, you get a notification. Thank you.